October 3rd, 2011, the day I turned my life around, the day I arrived in Japan. When you live as a foreigner in Japan, one question you will frequently get asked is why you came to the country. And over the years, my go-to answer has always been, I came here to pursue higher education. And when people ask what made me choose Japan in particular, I say, I grew up watching a lot of popular Japanese TV. But lately, I've come to realize that I'm only answering half the question. The other side left unspoken is this: why did you leave the Philippines? In a previous video, I touched on the subject of living in a hostile environment. There's one big part I left out because I wasn't ready to talk about it. And in fact, I'm not sitting in front of the camera talking to you about this because I don't have the confidence that I won't break down while saying this. But here goes. I'm not going to go into the details because that's not the point I want to highlight in this video. And let's face it, every time sexual assault is brought up, people find a way to blame it on the victim. And yes, there is a part of me that's afraid to release this video because I believe that half the people who hear my story would probably blame it on me. Even though I was 6 years old when this started, I don't really see how a child can invite sexual advances, but that's the harsh reality we live in. In fact, I myself was denying it while it was happening because I wanted to cling to whatever sanity I had left. I blamed myself, said I was just imagining things, but it kept happening over and over and over. And then one day, I finally decided to speak up, and I thought I was going to get the help that I longed for so much. But just as I had denied it to myself once, so did the people who heard my words. And I can't really blame them because it's easier that way. And when that happens, you just learn to shut up about it, not to count on other people, because the only person who can really protect yourself is you. The way I saw it, and see it still, is that I'd only meet a tragic fate if I kept living in the same place. So I decided to leave once and for all, to go to a place where the monster running after me can't ever lay his hands on me again. And from that point on, I poured everything I had into leaving. My way into Japan was through education, and I knew that the only way I could afford it was through a scholarship. So I spent my late evenings working on the night shift job, my mornings getting whatever ounce of sleep I could, and the rest relentlessly studying. I barely gave myself any break. Even my bus rides to work were used reading papers for grad school or studying Japanese. Every break I had at work, I went back to studying. It was, after all, Japan or die for me. That's how desperate I was. And then I got the scholarship. And on October 3rd, 2011, I landed at Narita. To be honest, I'm still in awe at how much time has passed. 10 years later, I'm still here. 10 years later, I still want to be here. Which is why I decided to make this video. This is my love letter to the younger me, the child who felt like staying alive was a hard choice she had to make every day. This is my love letter to all the troubled children who look ahead and barely see any light. This is my love letter to you, watching this video, perhaps contemplating on how to turn your life around. And for that, I hope you listen closely when I say this. It gets better. Even though it may not seem like it, you have the power to change your life and steer it in the direction you want. Even if you don't like who you are at the moment, You need to keep believing in your own capacity to change. The tunnel may seem long and dark, but you don't have to walk to the end to find light. You possess your own. Nourish it, and it will show you the way. Changing where you live doesn't magically solve all your problems. I've spent all my years in the Philippines focused on trying to survive that I didn't really know how to live or build a life. Living means making mistakes, dumb choices, and having messy relationships. Changing where you live also doesn't take away the lasting effects of trauma. The person who hurt me has long died, but even now I still get nightmares and panic attacks. I mean, just the other day I dreamt I was back home, that I was screaming my lungs out trying to ask for help. It's an awful, awful way to wake up. And to be honest, I don't think these will ever go away. But over time, I've gotten better at handling them. Over time, I've gotten better at finding my center so I don't lose myself completely when faced with triggers. Sometimes, when nightmares haunt me and I wake up rattled, I immediately grab a pen and paper to calm myself down. There's this thing I wrote in 2015, and I'd like to leave you with an excerpt today. Words that I hope will give you some small comfort.